All right, we had some connection issues, so we're a couple minutes late. Just going to do my ritualistic sending to the followers, and then we're going to get going because I'm excited for this one. If anybody's just tuning in, we just had some technical difficulties. Instagram wouldn't let me connect for some reason, but we're in now. So I'm just sending some invites, and then we're gonna get started tonight. Welcome to the Truth Vault. I am Rich. I'm your host, the founder of A Father's Truth. Tonight, I have a very special guest with me. I'm excited for this. I've been looking forward to this all week. Godfather Swole, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, brother. How you doing, Richie?
No, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Like I said, I've been looking forward to this all week.
Yeah, me too, brother. Me too, man. Finally here.
Yes, sir. So for people that are just joining, like I said, you're the Godfather Swole, Rafael Palma. Next level pro wrestling heavyweight champion, brother.
That's right, brother. That's what I do to entertain people. But my name is Ralph. I'm an alienated dad of over 6 years now. One of you guys, man. That's who I am. Okay.
Yeah.
What I do in the ring and outside of that, that's just something that I do. But I'm a dad like you. I grieve in my children like you. Been through stuff that you've going through, man. So just here to share some light. That there is light, at the end of the tunnel. That there, even through the struggle, there's a lot of good happening, and there's no way, in any case, giving up an option.
Definitely, man, definitely. And like I said to you earlier, it's very important that we speak up on these issues. I've been telling you this all week that it's important for people to hear our stories,
exactly.
And share them, because a lot of people out there do think that they're alone.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing with my platform and why I created A Father's Truth is because I knew that I wasn't alone.
Yeah.
And I'm Canadian, you're in the United States in California, but we have this bond that we've gone through this system, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the family court system is a system that we all know it generally takes it out on the man.
Yeah.
There's no question about it.
Exactly.
Family court is where there's no evidence is necessary. The lies are allowed, encouraged, and they're even rewarded. And this from personal experience. But
I do, brother.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you got 4 kids. You got 3 boys and a girl. And, just a little bit about yourself and how you even came into this to begin with.
Well, how I got into the PA community, it was all by accident. When I first started going through this, I thought I was the only person going through it. I didn't know. I didn't even know parental alienation was a thing. And it was through Instagram that I found a page about that. I think it was the Parental Alienation movie or something. That was in there a documentary and somehow that led me to pages like yours and other advocates for against this, right? And over 6 years, 2017. That's when it happened to me. I was married 20 years to my college sweetheart. We had 4 kids. I was a football coach at the time. All 4 of our kids were involved. So I had 3 boys and the youngest is a girl. And just one day, caught the ex. Well, at the time, the wife, was seeing someone else that wasn't her husband, married to somebody else. And when I caught them, there were several months into it. I lost my shit.
Yeah.
I looked crazy. I went after the guy. I did a lot of things that I wish I wouldn't have done. It cost me 14 months of jail. I did a prison term. I got in trouble, a felony for child abduction, for taking my own kids out to eat on a restraining order. I didn't know how serious they were. Anyways, I got locked up, and while I was locked up, she was able to divorce me. She was able to get custody of the kids. She was able to get everything. And her and her lover put false accusations on me and made me look like some crazy, controlling, jealous husband that just randomly picked on some guy and made it all up.
Yeah.
And so, of course, like I said, I lost it. I kept getting myself in trouble and getting myself thrown back in jail. So 3-4 trips, I served a total of 14 months. And when the first restraining order expired, 3 years later, it was for 3 years the first time. I was already remarried. I started a new life. I already paid for everything I've done. And she was able to get it extended another 3 years with nothing other than the same reasons why she got it the first time.
Yeah.
With time, it came out that she did have an affair. The wives found out. They made a big old stink about it. The truth came out.
Yeah.
Right?
It usually
but I
does,
already
brother.
done my time.
Yeah.
I already have restraining orders. I already have all this, a record. I already got all this stuff going against me, right? During that time, I was able to remarry. I met a wonderful, wonderful woman named Hope. 3 years after or so after my first wife left, and she's been very, very supportive in helping me through all of this.
Yeah, definitely.
I got a daughter out of it. She was 11 when I met her. She's about to turn 16 now, and she's one of the biggest loves of my life right now. So this restraining order has now been extended. This is now the third time. Sorry.
That's
the third time. On the 1st of August, she was able to get extended an additional 5 years. So I already done 6, and now they added until the kids are 18.
Yeah. Right?
So I have a 17-year-old, one that turned 17 yesterday. I have he's about to be 14 in September 2nd. I have a 12-year-old daughter who I still don't have contact with. I have contact with the oldest, who's 19, just turned 19 on the 1st, who lives with me now. Who's the one you see everywhere with me on social media, the one that raps me out to the ring. He's doing this thing right now. He lives with me now. And so earlier this year, him and I reconnected, and he ended up figuring things out on his own. He gave me a chance. He came to visit me. He got to see things for how they really are, to the point where he decided that he wanted to come and stay and live with me now. He shared about how things were back home. The stuff that he's went through the last 6 years that he wasn't around. A lot of disheartening things, a lot of stuff that got me really upset. That I'll give you an example. This is how they work. Okay, this is alienation, guys. This is how deep what we call baby mama terrorists, how evil, mean they can get. Okay, how their hate for you is so much stronger than their love for their own kids. All right. Soon after his mom remarried, he had an altercation, I guess, with the new stepdad or whatever. He got caught, I guess, having pot. He had pot on marijuana, and they threw him out of the house for that. A 16-year-old kid, senior year in high school, they threw him out of the house for pot.
Yeah.
Who later told me that it was from their stash, his parents' stash.
Really?
Okay. And I guess, according to what she's saying, she was having a hard time with him. Okay, but instead of calling me, you know, hey, your son, you know, I'm having a hard time with him. Is it okay if I ship him over to you and you handle it? Which I gladly would have done, right?
For sure. Yeah.
Threw him out of the house. The kid was homeless, sleeping in the park, sleeping in cars, sleeping on friends' couches for a while. When she finally got to her senses, she was trying to get him back. He didn't want to go back. She had to make a police report and say that he ran away to get him back so she can cover her butt. Anyway, she had to go back, was forced back. That happened several times. You know?
Yeah.
Multiple times. And that's where I saw things from it opened up my eyes to how I still can't comprehend how a mother can do that.
I
Okay?
understand. I really do, bud. And that's what I say. And that's what I say. Like, people don't realize the actual toll that it takes on the kids. Like, you got to put all our differences aside. Yes, you know, we're adults. Yeah, we make mistakes. You know, you've made mistakes. I've made mistakes. But it's our kids, right? And I've told people over and over the statistics that are out there with fatherless homes and what this does to children, especially when you're dealing with parental alienation. And, you know, more than likely you're going to be falsely accused of something. I've always said that, you know, and like in your case, you've been falsely accused out the ass. The same with me. You know, I didn't do any jail time, but I spent 16 months trying to prove my innocence, and I could have spent 6 years in jail for something that I didn't do, you know? So these are like it, you know, in cases like this where, you know, the alienation gets bad, and then I've always said as well that, you know, once your kids gets older, they're going to start seeing these things, and you've started to see it. You said it yourself that you know, your boy has now started to see what's been going on, and it's really opened his eyes. Like, I can see it just in what you post on Instagram with your wrestling. You know, your boy's coming out. You can tell that you guys have a close bond now, but, you know, look at all the years that was wasted because of jealousy, you know, all the other stuff that shouldn't have been taken out on the kids, but it is, you know. And in Canada, it's no different.
Brother, okay, the night I won this, okay, July 22nd, I believe it was.
Yeah, it was
Big,
about a month
big
ago.
moment, big moment for me in what I do, right? So my son was there. He wrapped me out to the ring. He was part of the whole storyline. He got beat up at the end of the match and everything, right?
Yeah, I watched
we had
it,
all this big old thing going on. I had somebody follow him around with a camera, doing a documentary, behind the scenes kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And it comes this man. I get served in front of my son on that night at the venue right before the match to go to family law court on the restraining order, trying to extend the restraining order. Okay. And I guess she did that, trying to embarrass me, trying to ruin my day. You know, I was having with my son. But so many people saw and found out that it did the opposite. Everybody rallied behind us now. Now they really want to see me win.
Definitely.
You know?
Yeah.
That's why it made that night so special. That's why I was crying. That's why, because it's like everything that we've been through. All this is, even after that day that she was trying to keep us from having that moment, and we're still able to have it, it just meant those emotions, those tears were real. Yeah, wrestling's scripted, okay, guys? We know who's going to win beforehand, all that stuff, okay? But that emotion that I was showing after they said I was the champ, that was real.
Yeah.
It was real. I had my boy I knew my boy watching. I had my wife. I had the people I love the most there. You know, all the fans, all the support. Everybody's been just so awesome because they know my story, and they've been rallying behind me. They know why I got like that. That what you said in about me a couple days ago. That you said, you know why I did it. It was, it had nothing to do with wrestling. It had nothing to do with what it was having a relationship with my son. That's why I started doing it.
Yeah. To
get him back in my life. Yeah. I knew somehow that wrestling was going to bring us back together because that's something we've always done. We've always had. You know, it's what's keeping us close right now. Is he's all into it right now. He wants to train. Now he wants to be a wrestler.
I see
he
that.
Wants to be a rapper, a wrestler. He wants to do it all now.
Yeah.
He told me the other day, this is the most fun I ever had in my life, Dad.
Definitely.
You know? And hearing that, seeing that. So that happens. And we got to go to court on August 1st on my son's birthday. I haven't had a birthday with him in 6 years, okay? 7 years. It was, 2016, the last time I saw the birthday with him. He turned 12. Okay?
It's crazy.
And I got to go to court.
Yeah.
agrees to testify on my behalf. He has screenshots. He had all kinds of stuff that he, his own personal story to tell on why he feels that I should be allowed to be with his siblings, right? Because there's a lot of stuff that he knows that he was going to share that his mom's not trying to make public, And he's upset that the stepdad didn't stop her from doing what she did and what I'm about to share, He has this concert, big concert, the week after I won the belt. Okay, he opened up for a well-known rapper from back in the day. His name is X-Rated. I was able, through my contacts in wrestling, able to get him to open up for him. Okay, I use my resources, my people, to help him get, throw him a bone. All I can do, son, I can provide you an opportunity. It's up to you to kill it.
That's right.
Just like I do in wrestling. If I suck, then I'll have him to come back.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is what you want to do. Let's do it. So, anyways, big old deal. Friends, family, my side of the family, we're all getting tickets. We're all going. I'm excited. I'm going to see my son rap for the first time in person, right? Well, she tags him on social media the day or two before that she's showing up and she's going to the concert. She has a stay away on me. Her and I cannot be in the same place. Yeah,
restraining order.
Yeah. Okay. And he tells her, "No, Mom, I don't want you there. Please respect my decision. I want my dad there. He's the one that made this happen.
Yeah.
You're all the way in Colorado. Okay, she's a 16-hour drive away from where we're at. She went out of several states to come over here. Oh no, because your brother wants to see you, saying that my son, right? My other son wants to see you, right? And anyway, he's telling her, no. We even went as far as contacting the local police in the town that was held. Asked him, if she shows up, so I don't get in trouble, what do I do? Because my son has already contacted her through text, like written, told the venue, the promoter, please do not allow my mom in. Please don't this and that. And he told the cops, if she shows up and we don't want her, will you escort her out and not my dad? And they said they would escort her out. Okay. Anyway, she made a big old scene and big old dude. Long story short, I had to be the bigger person to show my son, look, son, I can't stand your mom right now. I'm really angry at her. But for you to have your night, I'm going to stay home.
Yeah.
My wife's going to go. My brother, your aunts, uncles, your cousins, they're all going to go support you. Your mom's going to, my wife's going to record it so I can watch it. I had to do that, brother.
Yeah. Did
she end up showing up? Yeah, she showed up.
So she did, eh?
Yeah. But did he hang out with her? Did he want anything to do with her? Did he go hang out with her? She was here for a few days. He didn't go spend any time with his mom.
Yeah.
It's done something to the relationship.
Definitely.
So
what kind of relationship does your son have with the other siblings? Like, do they still talk every day, or is that kind of,
he's in contact with them.
Yeah.
I can't tell you exactly how much because I don't ask him because I don't want him to feel that.
Yeah.
Because of the legalities, for her to say, "Oh, you contact him through," because she mentioned that in. I'm going to go into that right now. So we got court on the. He's upset too. You're sending us to court. You serve us like, dude. He's like, because she's been like, on social media. Oh, I'm so proud of that, my mom. But then the stuff she sends him, the stuff she says in the court paperwork for the restraining order about him. I mean, she threw him under the bus. Okay, saying that I'm going to use him to weaponize his brothers and sisters. Yeah. That he's here because he has addiction problems. I mean, I guess to try to make him to discredit him as a witness, she just went to town.
Yeah. And
then she'll say on social media, "Oh, I'm so proud of my son." Photo op mom, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Photo op mom, Facebook mom, social media mom. Okay. And he knows that.
For sure.
He's seeing it now. Now he knows that.
Definitely, he's seeing it for.
And so anyways, we go to court on his birthday. He doesn't want to go. He's torn, but he's going to speak up. He's ready to stand up to his mom. He was ready, man.
Yeah.
But the judge wouldn't. She went up. The ex said her thing. They gave me like 3 minutes. And then I asked, can my son testify on behalf? They wouldn't let him. They gave her the 5 years she asked for. Just like that. I was in there like 5 minutes, bro.
That's unbelievable.
like that. I'm serious.
Unbelievable.
My son's a witness. My wife's a witness. His best friend was here for the concert. He was there in court. I mean, they saw it. My son lived it. He saw it. You should have seen how heartbroken my son was. He felt betrayed. His heart was broken.
Yeah. Man.
He was crying. He couldn't even look at his mom. After court, she was trying to go over there, and he didn't want. Yeah.
Yeah, because the
like
true, definitely the true colors.
Like she really didn't think this through. Her husband didn't think this through.
No, they never do. They never do, dude.
Even after all this
because
done to them already. I'll give it. So anyways, the reason she was able to get restraining orders on because she was able to make them believe that I was crazy, that I made up the whole affair stuff, right? That I just picked on some random guy. And of course, she's saying no, she denied it to it. But the reason my son started talking to me, as part of it, is like she admitted to him what she did. But when she admitted to him what she did, that yeah, she did mess around with this guy or whatever, and whoever, I did it, but this is why. And I even asked them, did your mom ever apologized to you for lying to you all these years? All the stuff she's put you, has she ever apologized? She don't. She just justifies why she does what she does.
Yeah, gaslighting, bud.
Yeah. So now he's been out of it for a while. He's seen how much he's been gaslighting. He's seen how much he's been manipulated, lied to. Now his siblings too.
Yeah.
Like he's growing up fast right now. He's getting he's like, dude, how can my parents or any of my mom, my dad ever do something like this to? How can you do this to your kids, right?
Yeah. It's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable. So we go because there's so much.
Court Tuesday, bro, on his birthday, bro. I'm sorry. And now I still gotta keep it together because it's his birthday, and I'm trying not to let that kill me. You know, I'm losing my shit as the judge gives his sentence to me. It's a sentence. Okay, now it's an 11-year sentence I'm gonna have.
Yeah. Okay.
For catching my wife at the time cheating with another man. Okay, I get my kids taken away for that because I did something what most men would have done. Actually, I didn't kill the guy. I didn't even beat him up. But you know. Anyways, I gotta celebrate a birthday with him. You know, when I don't want to celebrate, because and I gotta see the good. I'm crying. My mom calls me to ask what happened, and she's like, "I know you're hurting, son, right now. I know you're angry, but your son is watching you right now. He's paying attention to how you're gonna react, how you're gonna respond." And you gotta be the complete opposite of his mother. And as hard as it's been, brother, to keep my mouth shut about my lip, I'm trying, bro.
Yeah, I know, buddy.
You know?
I know. It's tough, man. It's tough.
So I went that whole Tuesday. We celebrated his birthday, man. I tried my best to give him a good birthday. You know, we tried. My wife and I, his sister. We had a great day. It ended up being a good day. Okay. The next day, I still kept it together. But by Thursday, I couldn't on Thursday. I had to go to wrestling training that I couldn't go. I just broke down.
Yeah.
I broke down. I was on my porch. I was out there by myself, and I just couldn't hold the tears. But then my son comes out, and, you know, he hugs me. And at one point, he told me, "Dad, you can't give up now. Don't give up." And that's all I needed to hear.
Yeah.
You know, he was encouraging me, you know.
Yeah, no, I hear.
He cried with me. He hugged me. He told me he loved me. He told me he's always needed me, you know. And oh man,
no, I feel you, buddy. I know, man.
So she denied it, right? She denied it that she ever had an affair. 2 years ago, the restraining order on her lover that caught her with expired. So he got her, she got him to help each other extend it. Okay? So my ex-wife got her new husband to team up with the guy I caught her with to fly down or drive down, I don't know how he got here, to California to team up with the dude I caught her with to lie on there for him so they can extend another 2 years. Now, at one point, did that guy ever consider the relationship with my kids?
Yeah.
He don't respect the relationship my kids have with their dad. He didn't. They don't think. My kids are gonna find out what you did, and how are you gonna be able to? How do you look them in the eyes and tell them you love them, that you care about them, when you're out there lying to protect a douchebag? You got douchebags protecting other douchebags there.
Yeah.
And anyway, he made a big one for himself. It was some Jerry Springer shit in court. The judge put him on their place. That's probably the only victory in court I had, was when he saw right through it and put them on their place and reprimanded all of them. But that's where they go.
Yeah.
The mindset that they have. This is narcissism. That's exactly what that is, man.
100%. Narcissism 101, bud.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So it's just crazy, bro. So her evidence in court was screenshots of me resharing her harassment about me. Look what he does. He puts it on his Facebook, on his social media. Yeah, this is screenshots of your own crap. And all that stuff, which my son was looking through, and he's like, what the but this is the monster that we're dealing with. This is the demon. This is a demon, guys. This is the damn devil, man. That's exactly what this is. And it's all the same. They all act the same tendencies, personality traits, everything.
Yeah,
everything.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Like I've had numerous people on, this live series that I started a few months ago, and we all say the same thing. It's the exact same. The only difference is that the names are different. That's it.
That's it.
Parental alienation is parental alienation. A narcissist is a narcissist, and a fucking liar is a liar, no matter what. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they'll go out to destroy you.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? I sent you a message the other day because I got tagged in one of your ex-wife's fake accounts. And, it was, where did I put that? It was actually the dog farter of Swole. That's her account. And I told you, but I would report it, and it's obviously out to get you. You know what I mean? You have there's tons of your posts on that, and Instagram kept it up. But to date, there's 768 posts on that. And like you said, she has had hundreds of these different accounts. She's stalking you on social media. She stalks you on Facebook. I've even seen, there's a video that was posted on, I think it was maybe that account, where you've had somebody trying to actually stalk you, claiming, you know what I mean? Claiming that they owed you money, something like that.
Yeah, that was some crazy, her brother-in-law.
Yeah, that's what happens, bud. Like, they get their family involved. They get your family involved. I've gone through the same shit. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It's just a different name.
Yeah.
So, and I get it, man. And this is shit that your son's now seeing. He's actually seeing who that problematic.
Here's the thing is, like, so at first he was like, okay, so there's something I did. When I caught her, I caught them with sexting and the pics they sent each other, all that stuff, right? I mean, it was really graphic, So I screenshot all that stuff, and I sent it to his wife. I pushed the button, bro. I sent it to everybody that would want to see it. That was because they were all about the public image. Okay, they all thought there was somebody in the community. So I did that. I was getting charged with what's called revenge porn. Okay, so that was one of the charges that got dropped, because for that one I did do all that. So I was ready to take that charge. But I asked for a trial because they would have to go to court and admit that they had an affair, because they were, everything's going to get tracked back, right? And so they didn't want none. So I didn't get in trouble for that. I didn't get that charge.
Yeah.
So my son asked me about that. He's like, because that's something that was up to that moment he was upset about me doing, about me sending nudes of his mom out viral to wherever. And I said, son, look, I'm sorry I did that. I shouldn't have done it. Okay, it was wrong with me. Okay, but you gotta understand, I was married to your mom 20 years. She was my wife, and I caught my wife at the time sending her junk or news and sexting some other man that was not her husband. Have you ever asked your mom, what the were you doing, saying another guy who's not my dad, who's married to somebody else, who's not your husband, this kind of shit? And he never thought about it. He's like, and that's when he's like, oh no shit, right?
Yeah.
So his perspective, it's changed. I go, have you ever asked your mom that question? Did she ever answer that question? He's like, no, I haven't. Now I get you. Yeah, fuck yeah, I'll be mad. What the fuck? You know, it's like,
Yeah.
you know, you go, damn, Dad, you should have killed the guy. You know, I'm glad I did it. You know, but
Yeah, you had some
I mean,
strength there, bud, because yeah, a lot of people,
everybody
would have.
condemn me, judge me for the revenge porn stuff.
Damn right.
Now, nobody once asked, well, what the hell was she doing, sending stuff, sexing another man? First of all, it's not your husband. Second of all, he's married to somebody else. You know, and denied all these years, and now she finally comes out clean to my son, right?
Mm.
And she's still acting the victim like I'm the one that she's still doing that.
Yeah.
Even after she's fessed up to it.
And that's what they do. That's that's a narcissist's best plan, right? Is to play victim. They all do. I've seen it over and over, not even just in family law, you know,
Yeah.
just people in general that have these narcissistic traits. They always play victim. They play victim to everything from health to, you know, exactly what we're going through to, oh, they lost their job, so it's somebody else's fault. You know what I mean? And, you know, like I said, the truth always comes out because the truth is the truth, no matter what, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was in a very similar situation. You know, a lot of people don't know this. A lot of my friends don't even know this, but it was actually my ex-wife that was kind of doing what your ex-wife was doing. 4 years ago, this is going on 6 years now because, yeah, it's been 6 years. You know, I was going through a similar situation where I was working a lot and I was trying to hire somebody. I was a shop manager for a sign company. I worked, you know, between 80 hours to 100 hours every week. I was doing multiple jobs to keep the shop running. So I had took my ex-wife's advice and tried to look for somebody. I said, well, if you know anybody that's looking for a job, let me know and I'll bring them in and see if they can handle it. So there was a person that we used to go to high school with that she had recommended. Well, little did I know that these two were talking to each other back and forth for a few weeks. And I didn't find out until after, when I hired somebody else that we both mutually knew. And I ended up having a relationship with that person, which was a female. Yeah. Now, you know, I took it for what it was, and I didn't, you know, I didn't, how can I put that? I took the blame for what I did, not knowing actually what she was doing behind my back. You know what I mean? And, you know, once that came out, of course, she denied the whole thing, you know, played victim like she always did. And you know what? It's just something that, you know, it happens. I understand that it happens. Two people might not stay together for the long run. In the US, dude, right now, the divorce rate is like, it's creeping over 50% now. You know what I mean? It's the way that society is nowadays. You have so much bullshit on TV that people watch. You got, you know, this reality TV bullshit, and I don't watch TV at all, but there's so many reality shows out there where these women, especially women, are watching these shows thinking that they can get a better life. They're watching all these other women on there thinking, oh, I can do this, I can do that. Sometimes the grass isn't greener on the other side, you know? So for me, I understand that, you know, there's a lot that can go into a divorce, especially when it comes to kids. But when we start using our kids as pawns, like your ex-wife has, and so is mine, and so is hundreds of thousands out there, that's where it becomes a problem. Yeah. You know, and again, we all know what parental alienation is. Yeah. You know, there's been documents after documents, reports after reports, studies after studies. My question is that when are we going to start actually taking a stance to this? Because in the long run, it's only our kids that it hurts, right? Because now we've gone through this for both of us now for 6 years, you know, so we've gone through it for 6 years. We've gone through these hurdles. We've gone through these sacrifices. We go through the heartache, you know, and especially when it comes to our kids. Like you said earlier, dude, I knew, that's why I sent you that message, because when you won that title, I knew that it wasn't just about the title. There was something way more important than that. And I knew it. That's why I sent you that message personally. And I said, dude, I knew that, you know, watching you in that match, I knew that when you won that title, it wasn't about the win. It was about having your son there watching you win that title. You know what I mean? And I knew it.
Yeah.
So that's what troubles me with all of this. And that's why I do what I do, dude, is because our kids don't deserve this.
No, they don't.
And if they don't, man, and if we continue to not say anything or continue to let it happen, continue to let these games play in court, when's it ever going to end? You know, like you've probably spent a shit ton of money in the court system up till now. You know, same with me. It's not just about money. It's about all the jobs, all the family members that you'll lose, all the friends that you'll lose. But there comes a point in time where, like you're now seeing, they start to see it, you know,
Yeah.
and then they start rallying behind you. That's like me, man. You know, I started this live series just a couple months ago after going through this for 4 years, and I've had this platform going for 4 years. You know, every now and then, you know, I would come on live and I would speak some things. But again, it's like, again, what are we doing? Like, we're not doing anything. We're just speaking about it. There's no action being taken. So the same thing as you, dude. I started exposing it. You know, I started actually reading evidence from my criminal case online to show who the liar was, to show that I'm not that monster that she tried to portray me as. Because all the other stuff, and I'm sure you're the same, when you were married, you were the best husband that there was. You were the best father that there was. There was nobody better than you. And then all of a sudden, you know, she was starting to have that affair, and then everything.
You're the worst human being ever. I went from being the best ever to the worst ever, you know?
Right.
Well, it happened, dude. And you know what? It was a blessing in disguise now because I don't know how this sounds. Might sound offensive to some people, but I upgraded.
Yeah.
You know, I have a wonderful, wonderful human being that's for a wife, you know, that loves me, adores me, supports me, is just an awesome, awesome person, an awesome mother, you know. And right now, she's being the mom that my son needs right now. You know, when he came here, brother, he was 30 pounds lighter. He just got here like it was at the end of July. Okay, it hasn't been almost 2 months.
Yeah.
30 pounds lighter. I mean, heavier, not lighter, sorry. He's gained 30 pounds.
Yeah.
He went from 130 to about I think he's 160 now. You know?
Well, we're the same weight right now, me and your boy.
So, I mean, he's good.
Yeah.
He's doing really, really good. I'm proud of the kid. In spite of all he's been gone through, the shit he gets on his phone from his mom, he's doing really, really good.
Damn right.
You know, he's doing what he can, and I'm proud of him. I'm glad we're together. We make a good team, you know, and we can entertain the hell out of people, which is cool.
Definitely. Definitely.
I'm happy to have him here, and everybody's happy to have him here, and he's just, my life's better now because he's in it, you know, again. And I just, man, bro, this has just been one hell of a ride. But what I'm trying to tell everybody is, look, those of you guys that haven't seen your kids, look, I still have 3 more, okay?
Yeah.
And you have to work on yourself, okay? I tell this to everybody. You have to work in spite of how much pain you're in. You still got to show up. You got to be ready to receive your kids, okay? If you're a mess, if you don't got it together, you're up here dysfunctional, then your kids aren't going to benefit from being around you.
Yeah.
You know, get help. Ask for help. There are a lot of resources out there. Counseling, therapy, whatever, man. Go to church. I mean, whatever works for you. Work out. I mean, find somewhere where you can use that, recycle that pain and have something good come out of it. You know, I got into the gym. I got into bodybuilding. Eventually into wrestling. You know, that kept me busy. It kept me from going to the bars. It kept me from sleeping around. It kept me from doing things that are not going to help me in the end, in the long run. You know, I really took to heart. You know, one time before my grandmother passed away, when I was going through all this, you know, when I was at the peak of my depression, the peak of where I didn't want to live anymore. You know, I wasn't bathing. I wasn't freaking changing. I was living at my mom's house.
Yeah.
You know, I just got out of jail, but I was, for like over a year and a half, I was not okay. You know, I had some crazy PTSD. I had all this anxiety. I had all this, the sky was falling, and I just couldn't, you know, couldn't keep it together, man. And so my grandmother, who at the time was, you know, almost 90 years old, on a wheelchair, has buried 2 husbands and she had 13 kids, buried 6 of them already, you know. And she's like, get up, you know, your kids are still alive. Get the F up Do something. You know, like, come on, your kids need you. Look, I bear 2 husbands, 6 kids. What the F you got on me?
Yeah.
You know? And through all that, you know, by the grace of God, and she just went on and 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 on. And I was like, dang, he's right.
Yeah.
It wasn't an overnight thing.
Yeah.
It took a little bit.
Oh,
But
definitely. Yeah.
when I want to sleep in, brother, I hear that old lady's voice in my ear. Get up.
Yeah.
It's time to work. Get up. It's time to do this. Get up. Your kids are watching you. You know? And so I'm glad that happened. And then when my grandmother died a few months after she saw me get remarried. And the day of my wedding, she was hugging me. So I'm so glad God let me see this day. You know? And so, brothers, it can happen for you too, man.
Yeah.
You know? You got to put in the work, though. You got to be willing, like that Rocky speech, you got to be willing to take the hits. You got to get back up. You're going to get knocked back down. You got to keep fighting, brother. You know?
That's right.
This is a war we're in, you know? And you got to stay healthy.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
got to eat right. You got to exercise. You got to feel what goes, you know, you are what you put whatever you're listening to, hearing to, feeding yourself, that's what you're going to be. So if you're around all this negativity all the time, you're always going to be negative. You're always going to be depressed. You need to surround yourself with people that are going to encourage you.
That's right.
You know? Stop stalking the ex. Stop doing all that stuff. Work on yourself.
Yeah.
Work on yourselves, guys.
Yeah, that's what we have to do, man. We
Yeah.
have to. So there's one thing that you mentioned that I want to bring up.
Yeah.
It's PTSD.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that people actually realize that when you go through things like we go through, you get PTSD from it,
Mm-hmm.
because it is a very traumatic experience, especially, you know, having your kids taken away for false allegations, dealing with the alienation, you know, and a lot of times, bro, we deal with these things on our own. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's very, again, like I said, it's very hard for people to actually fully understand the whole dynamic around it. You know, they might see it as, well, again, it's the society that we live in, right? And they see it as, well, you're a dad, so you should be strong. Yes, we should be strong, but we're only human. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my biggest argument is that why, as men, we're not allowed to talk about these things. We're not allowed to have PTSD from this, but a woman can. And a woman will be praised for her strength, but us will be not praised, will be looked at as weak. And I don't find that as weak. Exactly what you just said. You know, you have to look for other things. You have to surround yourself with positivity. And sometimes it's fucking hard, man. And I know it, man. You know, I balance myself. I try to do this, and I try to stay focused on family law. It's not an easy thing, but on the other hand, I'm very spiritual. You know, I just had somebody comment about, you know, my necklace. You know, they're freaking on me because they assumed it was a pentagram. It's actually not. But thank you for the, you know, the judgment. If you actually looked into the actual meaning of this, it's actually a Christian thing.
Is it a star?
Look, it
Sorry,
is. It's just a star. It is. It's a star. There's no circle around it, but it's meant to inspire. If you look deep into the Christian meaning of it, it is actually meant to inspire. But everybody thinks that, you know, it's you're witchy and all this other shit.
Yeah.
Which
I'm glad you bring that up, because I'm a Christian man, and it's by grace of God I'm here, brother.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not strong. He is, though.
Yeah.
And so when I can't, he carries me.
That's right. And
You know?
we have that inside of us, you know, and I feel you, dude, because I've been in the same position, dude. I have been there where I didn't want to get out of bed. I just had a recent situation, you know, the past 6 months, 7 months, where, you know, I lost contact with my kids. I had FaceTime access only. And all of a sudden it just stopped. And then a few months after that, I was a victim of sexual assault as a child. The person that sexual assaulted me never spent a day in jail. It was a family member. Nobody wanted to stick up for me. You know, so that piece of shit finally died in December, which cancer finally took him. And I called that karma, because, you know, how he got back into our family was faking cancer. So, you know, God put put the wrath into them.
Good.
But it was still hard, I've suffered from PTSD since I was a child. I've suffered from anxiety. It's very hard to deal with.
Yeah.
And again, you have to put yourself in a mindset where if you don't put yourself in that mindset, nobody else is going to do it for you.
Yeah.
And it's, again, it's kind of something where you posted that quote about, if you have a dream, chase it, because the dream's not going to chase you back. And that is exactly how I looked at it, is that, I don't want people to have to go through this. So what can I do about it so that people don't feel alone?
Yeah.
And, it was about doing what we're doing right now, creating a foundation where we want to stop this. That's why I created the Father's Truth Parental Rights Network, is to put an end to this, not just in Canada, because I know this is not just a Canadian problem. You're dealing with it in the US, bud.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like, these things happen all over the world. I just received a message just before we went live from a person in Australia. They literally sent me almost a book. I couldn't even get through it all because I was trying to prep for this. But, exactly the same position. Not even, there's not even a detail that is a little bit different, to a T, the same, and I'm thinking, man, this has happening like literally all over the world. Why aren't we doing anything about it? And we know what it is, dude. It's the conflict that's brought into the court system, and it continues and continues and continues. And you see it happening with your kids. They stopped your child from even speaking. They wouldn't let him talk. Why? Because there was so much conflict already there that if your son starts talking about it, that truth is coming out in court.
Yeah.
And then guess what? These people have to have some sort of accountability for what they're doing. They have to have some sort of accountability for the bullshit that they just put on you with now a 5-year restraining order. So basically what they're doing is stopping you from seeing your kids until they're of legal age where they can make their own choice, which is complete bullshit, because they ignore everything else and they ignored your own kid. So it's not right, man. And you're lucky that you had your grandmother there to keep boosting you, and to get up and fight, because not many of us have that. A lot of people say that they're there, but are they really there? Do they want that conflict in their life? Chances are no, and I commend you, dude. I really do. Like, I was telling somebody before we had this interview started, I said, like, I look at you as a hero, man, because not only, like, I was a huge wrestling fan growing up. I did the same thing. I was trying to get my son into that. I had an accident in 2016 or 17, I believe, where I was training for boxing. I got my son into it. I was like 38 years old trying to train to return to the ring. And I got in an accident where a truck landed on my leg.
Oh my.
And it completely screwed me. But, I felt exactly how you felt when you won that title. And it wasn't about the title. It was about your kid being there. And that's all that, guys like us, that's what we're trying to do, is just be there for our kids, not have this conflict.
Shout out to Bang City right there, King. He's also going through it. He's just started going through it, man.
Really?
Recently. A guy you probably want to have on your show, and then he's also started a support group. Give him a shout out. Follow him, guys. He's also one of us, man, and he needs all the support and love he can get. He's new to Alienation, man.
Thanks, City.
I've been working with him, trying to coach him and all that, but
definitely, I'll give him an ad as soon as we get off. And that's the other thing. If anybody's watching here, please follow us both, because the more that we get this out, after this interview's done, I'm going to post the video probably tomorrow morning. It's very important for people that are commenting throughout the live to come back, throw some comments on, because that's how the algorithms work. Is that, more comments that are on the videos that we put out, the better it gets reached. I just proved it by the last video that I put out, which has gone, like, it's been my top video, and it was basically talking about what we're talking about today, and it's about perjury and the false allegations. And I was just reading an actual blurb that was out there. It wasn't actually my personal, but we both can feel exactly it. And it was, being a victim of false allegations. And I don't like to use that word.
Yeah.
And anybody that knows me knows I don't like to use the word victim, because there's 3 stages of it. There's victim, there's survivor, and then there's warrior. I've already gone through those first 2 stages. I'm in that 3rd stage, where now is the time, that action needs to be taken. and the people that are responsible need to be held accountable. So, you know, the more that we get it out there is the better. Again, you know, I started this foundation, a Father's Truth Parental Rights Network, because I knew that I wasn't alone. I started in groups like a lot of us do. You know, we go to a group, we start talking and that. But again, you know, this is a problem, dude, that's been going on for like almost 40 years now, where the system just does not give a shit about our kids. And we're starting to see it, man.
Well, they're making money
society
off of it. Why would they?
That's right.
They're getting rich.
Billions upon billions. If anybody's ever watched Divorce Corp, which came out like quite a few years ago, they said that it's a $50 billion industry just in the United States alone. It's gotten worse. It's over the $100 billion mark now, because it makes more money. And I told this to an event coordinator that I just hired through the foundation that's helping me put an event together. And I told her that the family court system, what people don't know, makes more money than every other system out there combined. Not just, you know, the criminal system and the civil system. It makes more money than all of it combined. So yeah, it's a huge eye opener for people that have never been in it, or have avoided the family court system, or have an actual ex-spouse that is reasonable. It's very difficult for people to actually put that in their mind, that really they make that much money. You know, my CFO, the chief financial officer as well, he has spent almost $750,000 in the last decade fighting the family court system. And he's not the only one, and he's not a celebrity. You know, I have a lot of other guys that you know, Josh Powell, who was on the live, joined. He's going through a bullshit situation as well. He finally stood up to himself, and I told him, like, dude, I'm proud of you, because this is what needs to happen. You know, again, kind of like what you did, where he started posting what his ex was posting, and, you know, she was just belittling him, tearing him apart, all this and that. So he posted it, you know, because this is what people need to see, is the narcissistic people that are behind these allegations.
Bro, mine calls herself publicly, okay? You can see this. This is public. She goes by the name of the undefeated, notorious BMT, Baby Mama Terrorist.
Wow.
Okay? She's adopted that name.
Unbelievable.
The undefeated, notorious BMT. She's proud of it. She's proud of it. Now she's just, you know, over here, you know, making fun of us.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know, mocking everything.
And that's the thing. And, you know,
not realizing your son is watching you now.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. I didn't block that account. I left the account open. I told you that I reported it, but I didn't block it because I was actually expecting maybe that, you know, she would show up.
But she's done it to everybody else.
Of course. And that's what I thought too. You know, I kind of figured, you know what, we're going to leave it open. I'm not going to block it, because I put her in her fucking place right away if she did come on here. But, you know, again, it all comes down to the allegations, the alienation that happens. We have to stop this from affecting our kids, because now your son's 19, you know.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have had to go through all of this. There should have been some protection for him in that court system, and the court failed, man. It's not you that failed. It's not even really his mom that failed. It's the courts that failed, because they're allowing this to happen. If they would take the stance and say, we're not going to do this anymore, don't worry, we're not going to worry about the revenue that this is bringing in. We have to start doing actually what's in best interest for the child. And they don't, you know, because money speaks volumes when it comes to lawyers, judges, and everything else. Like, I've worked in it, so I know exactly how it works. I've seen it. I've seen judges take bribes. I've seen them take trips to the Mediterranean because the lawyer wants the decision. He's in a messy case. So here, I'm going to give this judge, a $5,000 vacation to wherever in the Mediterranean. I've seen it, dude. So it's not like it doesn't happen. This is not something that you see in movies. It actually happens. And, you know, we have to start taking a stance. We have to start making these people accountable. And that's why, like, I've been heavy lately, and people have seen it. I've been heavy on, if you want something done, you have to take action on it. because how much more do our kids need to take? Society is hard enough on them. You know what I mean? And if you look at it, you can really stem everything back to the family court system. If you really looked at everything, you know, there's a higher percentage of homelessness. Your son was part of that. So he's now a statistic in that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know, there's a higher chance for drug abuse. Your son was in that. There's also a higher chance for crimes committed, for prison terms. That it goes on and on. These aren't stats that I've made up. They're just out there. I didn't make this shit up, you know, and you didn't make it up either. All the parents that go through this, we didn't make these things up. We have to live through these things. So how do we try and change it? So I like with where I am in Canada, I'm telling you right now, there's not a lot of people that are doing what I'm doing. But in the United States, there's lots of different groups out there that are fighting for what we need to do globally. And that's start putting these judges in jail. You have to look for the criminal element. People think that judges have immunity. Bullshit. They don't have immunity. When you start taking into account that they're doing this on a large scale, and you can prove that they're doing this on a large scale, you then file a class action lawsuit, and then you start putting these fuckers in jail. That's what we have to do. Like, that's the blunt of it, is that if you want something done, you have to take those hard routes that people aren't willing to take.
I need to go back to school and be a lawyer.
and I studied it. You know, I studied to be a paralegal. Paralegals, we can't touch family law in Canada. Yeah. So it's not that it wasn't wasted, because I learned how to read the laws. I learned how to look through those little gray areas that people just think that, oh, they got immunity, we can't do nothing. You're wrong. You can do something. You can do something by doing what I just said, is by filing lawsuits against them, or looking for law firms that are willing to actually take that stance, which it's hard, dude. It really is hard to find a judge that wants, a lawyer that wants to go after a judge, because they have a law society that they've sworn to, right?
They're all part of the same club.
But there are some out there, and you know, I've had contact with a firm. That's why it's very important, like what we're doing right now, sharing this. You know, I kind of do, like, this is almost my full-time gig. You know what I mean? Like, I do this every single day. I talk with people every single day. I do research every single day, and it's important. You know, when we're asking for these things, money talks. And if anybody's ever watched the show Ozark, I don't watch TV, but somebody told me that I needed to watch this show. If you really wanted to look into how the system works, you know, you have senators and all these other people that are in politics. It's all a money game. That's all it is, you know. So I've kind of taken that approach, is that, okay, well, then we're going to play that game to a certain degree. And that is it. Like, my CFO right now, he's in the conversation. We need funding. Yeah. And that's exactly it, is that we need people that can fund something like this to happen. And I know I'm Canadian. I know you're American, but this is a global issue, and we're joined.
We're dads, bro. We're dads that miss their kids and want to be a part of their kids' lives. That's all.
That's right.
We're dads, bro. We just want kids back in our lives. That's all we're asking for. There are kids too. We just want to be part of their lives. That's all. We're not asking for too much.
That's right. Definitely. And, you know, I've been working very close with Bill Corbett, who I've had on the show maybe 2 weeks ago, from Veteran Fathers out in Georgia. We've been working very close together. We're working on something. I can't really get into details on it. There's, you know, he's going to come here. We're going to do a whole press conference on everything. Cool. But there are things coming. And, you know, I've been saying it for the past couple of weeks. I've been putting little hints out there that, with the hashtag, we are coming. Yeah. Because we are, brother. You know, I feel your story like there's no tomorrow. And I really do. Like I said, you're a hero of mine, because you brought, not only from the wrestling thing, but you brought your son into it because you knew that it was important for your son to rebuild that bond. And I know that you still have that gap missing, because you still got 3 other kids out there that are being used against you. Yeah. And I do know, dude, that you will be reunited with them one day. I know that in my heart. I know that from my intuition. I know that from speaking with you. I know it's going to happen. You just got to keep doing what you're doing. I got to keep doing what I'm doing. Everybody that's joined us tonight, they got to keep doing what they're doing. Exactly what Bill just said. Unite and fight. That's what we got to do, dude.
We do got to stick together, guys. I mean, it's in our best interest to work together, man, because this is a cause bigger than ourselves. This is something I've told my son. Even after I get your brothers and sisters back, I'm not stopping this. I'm always going to be an advocate. God forbid this happens to my grandkids.
And that's it, bud. That's how I look at it, right? Is that I'm not going to stop because I don't want my kids to go through this. I got a son and a daughter. Mm-hmm. So again, with that 50% ratio that we're at right now with divorce, I'm sure one of them is going to get divorced.
Yeah.
And if I can do something about changing this system for them so that they don't have to deal with this bullshit, of course I'm going to. That's the warrior mentality that I've had my whole life, you know, and that's what I tell people that you have to have. There's different words out there with this type of mentality, but you can't give up. Exactly what your grandmother said, dude. Get up,
yeah.
Fight, get up, no matter what.
My son, he's in the background listening. Like I said, he told me the day that it happened a couple weeks ago is, don't give up now. You know, you can't. You just can't now. Yeah, you got to fight harder than ever, you know. So your kids are telling you to do that, man.
That's right.
You're telling me, you know, my brother and sister need you. They need you, you know.
That's right. That's right.
So don't listen to what they're saying over there with the BMT saying. They're just trying to get on, you know, under our skin. Our kids need us and they miss us, and you know, they've been lied to like him, you know. They've been manipulated. They've been used. They've been abused. You know, alienation is abuse. It's child abuse, you know.
100%, bud. 100%.
And, I don't know, man. I mean, things are going to get better. They're getting better, you know.
Definitely.
And, just like I said, it's a long battle. It's a hard battle. Just got to keep on showing up every day, brother. I know it gets tiring. I'm tired. I'm not going to lie. I'm tired of fighting with her. I'm tired of all this. But it's just, that's how you get endurance.
I hear you, bud. I hear you. I've been exhausted too, man. It's exhausting. It really is. But, you know, I can't stop until it's changed.
Like yesterday was he turned 17, and I couldn't say happy birthday to him. Yeah. I couldn't send him a gift.
Yeah,
you know. And so Noah and I are at my sister-in-law threw herself a birthday party at her house, a pool party. So Noah and I celebrated together. You know, we're doing karaoke and we're having fun and. You know what? I can't be with my son, but you know what? We're gonna celebrate anyway. You know, so instead of being down and sad like I would be if he wasn't here with me, today I would have been crying. I would have been sad. I would have been looking at pictures of him and all the birthdays we had and all that stuff that goes with mourning. You know, I still did a little bit in the morning yesterday.
Yeah.
You know,
we're only human.
But it wasn't as hard as it's been in the past. Now that I have Noah, because I asked him, "Hey, do you wish your brother happy birthday today?" He goes, "I sure did that."
Yeah.
You know, good. You know, so at least I know that, you know, and so it helps. It really does help.
Definitely.
You know, but for those of you who don't even have one with you, if you have step kids, pour your heart into them. Okay? My stepdaughters was my saving grace. But we both came in each other's lives when we both needed. She needed dad, I needed kids and a family, and she adopted me and allowed me to parent her. And she's to this day, you know, we're like this, you know, and unless you know, she's not biologically mine. By the way, we are with each other, you wouldn't tell, you know. So it's just been awesome, man. Seeing them two, the way they get along, you know, the way my wife treats them, you know, it makes me love my wife more because I see how motherly she is with him and with her, and it's just. Things do get better, guys. You know what I mean? Just don't make the same mistakes you made before. Clean your act up, you know, and learn to forgive, learn to let go, learn to move on. Life is crazy, man. It's unpredictable, you know.
Definitely.
So just know you're not alone, guys.
And that's the thing. Everybody needs to realize that you're not alone. You know, there's lots of platforms out there like mine that are trying to do the exact same thing. But again, like I said, and I say this all the time, I haven't said it yet, but we need unity, we need compassion, and we need understanding. You know what I mean? Because those three things are key for what we're going through. We have to unite on these things. Mm-hmm. If anybody ever looked at how the feminist movement got to where they got to, is because they united. They put their shit aside. So I don't know why as men we can't do that. You know, there's so much jealousy out there when it comes to advocating, it's unreal. And I don't have time for that because, you know, I don't have time for the drama. We are all going through drama.
Yeah.
So the internal drama that we have to deal with and all of this other bullshit, it's not needed. You know, you put your shit aside because we're all fighting the same thing. We're fighting for equality in that court system.
Yeah.
We know that it's not equal, you know, and our kids do not have to go through this in the future. So again, if we could do something to stop it from happening, we should be doing something to stop it from happening. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Yeah, absolutely, man. And even just speaking up against it, you know, it's something. Just don't stay quiet.
That's right.
My ex has been trying to put a gag order on me this whole time, keep me from talking because, you know, my stories change the same. She keeps changing hers.
That's
right. Now, who knows how it's going to change even now because, like I said, she admitted what she did to my son. So you can't take that back now. You'll call him a liar.
Yeah, I hear you. Like my stuff happened, dude, on August 6th of 2019. So we just passed the 4-year mark. And I did a live that day. And I was fucking emotional that time.
Yeah.
You know, and I read, I read a statement from a police officer, a detective. That was the truth, you know. And I wanted to put out there that, you know, this has to stop because we shouldn't have to be doing these things. There's people, there's people out there that are supposed to be protecting us, and that's this court system. That's the police officers that are involved. But dude, they washed your hands of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they didn't do anything to her, and that's what I mean. Even if you prove false allegations, I said it in that video that I posted the other day. It's a life sentence, regardless. You know, a lot of people took that wrong and thought that I was in jail for life, and you need to focus and listen to what I said, is that it's a life sentence without your children.
It is.
You know, and it is 100%. You know it is.
It'll be if she gets her way, 5 years, whatever. I'll be 11 years over what?
Yeah.
Because I caught you messing around with someone else.
Yeah.
You know, really.
Exactly.
You know,
I know.
You went and told a story of for other that's something totally different, and you finally come clean, and then you're still mad. That's what I don't get.
Exactly, and it's the narcissist behind her, dude.
Oh
is because
my God,
they can't admit that they're wrong. You know, even when they do admit that they're wrong, in their brain they're not wrong.
Yeah, like I said, she still has to apologize to my son.
Yeah, exactly.
Just justifying it.
Yeah,
you know,
there's always some sort of justification. Exactly.
Yeah.
I know, bud.
It's
amazing. It is. But you know what, dude? You're strong. You show it every day. Like, put the wrestling aside. Your personality shows it. You know what I mean? Because I do watch everything that you do. Like I said, like, I'm a fan of what you're doing with the wrestling. I consider you seriously as a hero because you're not giving up. You know, and that's what I think is very important, is that we don't give up, no matter how hard it is.
Yeah.
Trust me, man. I've made sacrifice after sacrifice after sacrifice. If I have to continue sacrificing, then that's what it's going to take. But I'm not gonna give up. The only time that I give up is when I'm 6 feet under. And even
that's it.
And even then, there's still going to be people that are going to be working on my behalf.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? I just want to say, I know your boy's back there. I want to tell your boy that, you know, your dad is a hero.
Oh, man.
For what your dad's doing, you know, he's a hero. I knew, again, when you won that championship with your boy there, that was a huge moment for both of you. I knew that. It didn't even fizz me, you know. It didn't cross my mind. It wasn't about that belt. It was about your boy being there. Your boy shows that support to you, and he's going to be successful at what he does. No matter what he does, he's got you behind him. You know, he's got you behind and you always have his back. You know, because that's what dads do, man. Yeah. We always have our kids' backs. So,
every dad wants to be their kid's hero, right? I mean, that's
exactly. Exactly.
And I'm getting that back, you know, and he's giving it to me, and I'm blessed, man. I'm really proud that he's my son.
Definitely. You're a blessed man. I believe that 100%, man. And I know it's tough, but you know, these are things that, again, we got to talk about, because this is how this is going to change, is that we're going to talk about these things. They're going to get out there. More people are going to hear about it. More people are going to see it. And that's what it is. It's one thing about hearing things.
The CEO's comment.
It's one thing about seeing it, man, but I know. It's That's what people need to see sometimes, man. Some
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, as strong as we can be. You know, do I like crying on live? Not really. You know what I mean? But hey,
I don't care.
and that's the thing. You come to a point where you just don't care anymore
Yeah,
because, you know, that's your kids, man. Like, that's what you're fighting for, is our kids. It's not like, you know, you're fighting for winning a championship, or, you know, you're fighting for fuck whatever. These are human beings that we're fighting for. They're
bro.
living.
6 years ago, or no, 2018, 19, I got out of jail. No money in my pocket. No nothing. Okay, just a few years. I have nothing. No job. Nothing. Zero.
You know?
Okay. Now I go a whole new life. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? God's giving me back what I lost and then some. Give it back tenfold, man. You know, as even with all I've been going through, I mean, my life is good. I live a really good life. I
Yeah.
love my life. I love my wife. I love the kids I have with me. I just miss the ones that I haven't seen in 6 years. My life will be complete
Damn right.
if I
I
had
know.
them in my life. You know,
Yeah.
I'm still mourning. I'm still not whole. I miss my other 3 kids. They're a part of me. You
Yeah.
know,
I know.
um, I just want to see them and talk to them. If something like this, I would die just to be able to talk to them on the phone like this.
Exactly. I
You
know,
know?
but and that's what set me off, like, back in October. It was about mid-October. I had this, you know what I mean? Like, I was speaking with them. It wasn't the greatest. I'm just going to be honest. You know, my daughter is severely alienated, severely brainwashed. My son is a different story. My son's just like his old man. He's going to be just like me. So, you know, but my daughter, I worry about her. And I worry about her every single day. Like, there's not a moment that goes by, man, that I don't think of my kids. There's not a moment. And it's why I do what I do, because I know that it's not fair for them to have to go through that. I've missed now 4 years of their life.
Yeah.
So, you know, I've missed, like, my daughter just turned 13, and I missed it, you know. I wasn't given an opportunity for anything, but you take it on the chin, and you have to keep going. Like, I know it's going to be tough, you know, and it's very important to get support. You know, if this is the last thing that we say, it's very important that we get support.
Yeah.
You know, I speak with many people. You know, Zombies is in here. He's been a huge supporter of mine as well. I support him for what he's going through. He's in your area too. He's out in California. He's dealing with the shit show as well.
I'm in Sacramento. Where you at, Zombie?
Let him answer you there. I'm pretty sure he's out in San Diego
Oh, okay.
area, somewhere around there.
That's so far, man.
But yeah, you guys are in the same state, you know, going through the same shit. I talk with guys all over the world. From, you know, I have Riz on here every now and then. He's from the UK. We talk about this. He's in Los Angeles, he says.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, you know, we have to stick together. Again, it's about this divide that we have. You know, we can't have this anymore. We have to take what the feminist movement made successful.
Yeah.
Put the shit aside, stop dividing each other, start working together, and that's when we're going to fix this. I know that's what's going to happen. And, you know, it takes just one. That's all it takes, is just one person. And then you get one other person, and then you get 10 people, and you get 100. This happens, and we know it happens. That's how these movements start.
Yeah.
You know, I've looked at the father's rights movement for a very long time, even before I got into all this. And the one thing that I say that they're doing wrong is that they don't take these steps. They worry too much about posting memes, putting their logo on everything, and trying to overtake something that they're not even doing anything about. And if you look at it, they have a lot of women's support behind it, a lot of feminist support. The same thing here in Canada, that we have really only one big organization that's doing anything. And they're completely involved with the feminist movement. And that's where our downfall is when we step into this. And we all know this. It's not a secret. So, you know, if we can take one thing from them, again, it's put your shit aside, start joining, start uniting, show compassion, start understanding that, you know, these things happen, and it shouldn't happen to our kids. It's our kids' futures that we're worrying about. You know what I mean, dude? Your kids are like, they're almost all in their teenage years now.
Yeah, they all are, except for my daughter, but she's almost
Exactly.
there. You know?
She's just about there. So, you know, in the next 5 years, you know, she could be out on her own, having a family of her own. Do we want her to go through that? Of course not. So what are we going to do about it? We're going to continue doing what we're doing right now. So, again, man, I appreciate you coming on here tonight. Like I said,
Oh, anytime, brother. This is what I mean. I could talk about this all day. I mean,
same here, dude.
Right?
I know, same here. One thing I've noticed is that, once we go over that hour marks, people start getting antsy and shit like that.
We can do another some other time, but
definitely, I definitely want to have you back on. Maybe in a few months we do an update, see how things are. See how the relationship has gone with your boy and the other kids, because it's important, that we unite, man. And I got compassion for you, man. That I understand what you go through. So we need more of us out there to do exactly what we're doing.
Yeah, guys, don't stay quiet, guys. Don't be ashamed. You know what I mean? There's power in numbers. Like you said, we got win this together, guys. Really hard. I mean, don't be afraid to cry. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Swallow your pride. You know what I mean? And just work on yourselves, guys. Alcohol, drugs are not the way to go to heal with this. You know what I mean? You got to find different coping mechanisms that are healthy for you, whatever works for you. But stay away from the booze and the drugs, guys, because that's not going to get you any closer to getting your kids back.
No,
prevent it, extend it.
That's right. It'll just make things worse. And
yeah.
That's not what we want to do. We want to make things better, not make things worse, for sure. And again, as men, it's very hard first to ask for help. I still struggle with it right now. And I really do. I'm not gonna lie about it. I struggle asking for help. But if anybody has ever taught me anything, it's my dear buddy Michael, who's been in this chat the whole time, the CFO of The Father's Truth. And he said, if you don't ask, the answer is always going to be no.
Exactly. That's great advice, Michael.
Exactly. So, he's been a good friend, and that's what we need. We need good people in our corners continuing this fight, and we're not giving up, bro. So again, man, I appreciate you coming on tonight.
Yeah.
It's
anytime, brother.
Definitely.
Anything for the cause, man. Anything I can do for this cause, I'm there, man. This is something like I said, I'll do for the rest of my life, man.
I agree, man. I agree. Well, dude, we're going to keep in touch for sure. Like I said, I'd like to have you back on. We'll do an update. Maybe we can make this a regular thing because, again, it's important that we do these things. And I'm not going away. You're not going away. It doesn't matter how many people want us to go away. It's not happening. So
yeah, Chucky, Bank City. Yeah, anytime, bro. Send me an invite. Give me the date. Of course, I'll be there to speak for you. Okay.
I definitely.
He's also a fellow wrestler. He's a pro wrestler too.
Perfect. Well, like I said, I'm going to be adding him as soon as we get off, and hopefully me and him can connect, and maybe we'll get him on here as well.
Yes, sir.
All right, buddy. Well, I appreciate it again. It's been an honor. I know it's probably getting a little bit late there. Go spend some time with your boy. You deserve it, man. And we're gonna talk soon, man.
All right, brother. Hey guys, thanks for watching, listening. You guys pray for each other, man. Okay, keep your heads up, guys.
Definitely will, man.
All right, thanks, bro. Appreciate you, man.
No problem. We'll talk soon, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, everybody. So again, that was the Godfather of Swole, Rafael Palma. It's true honor to have him on the show. I've watched him for quite some time now. I'm a huge fan of his wrestling, but I'm more of a fan of what he's doing to fight for his kids. As you've heard tonight, one child has already returned. He has seen the truth of what this system does. He has been behind his father. He is basically his entourage when it comes to wrestling. It's a great thing to see. Trust me, it really is. There's actually been times where, I pictured myself in that situation with my own boy. And I have a daughter as well. We always watched wrestling together. So the opportunity to have the Godfather of Swole on tonight was a huge honor of mine. So if you're not following him, I'm going to advise you to please do. Because again, this is how we create unity, is in numbers. We have to show compassion, and through compassion, we will understand each other's situations each other's stories, and we'll continue to fight no matter what, because that is my motto, that no matter what happens in life, I'm never going to stop fighting. There's going to be people out there that are going to doubt you. Let them. There's going to be people out there that are not going to support you. Let them not support you, because you will follow a lot of people in life that will show support for you. You will come into contact with a lot of people that will show support for you. They will be there. So again, it was an honor to have you on the show. I'm going to definitely look forward to having you back on the show. I thank everybody for their time. I just want to, before I end, I did mention that, during the conversation, that we are planning an event. Now, this event is a startup event for A Father's Truth Parental Rights Network. I do have some very special guests that are being booked for this event. This event is being planned for November 25th of 2023 this year in Hamilton, Ontario. I've also hired an event coordinator who is working on a volunteer basis, because everybody here works as a volunteer for now. But money is important, and that's what this is all about, because it's going to take money to defeat this, and we all know that. Now, my thing is, would you rather spend money doing the right thing, or would you rather put money into a lawyer's pocket and a judge's pocket and a court's pocket to make these fuckers rich while they live off the conflict that's in our lives? If you can think about that, and you can honestly tell yourself that you would much rather give that money to them, I'm not the platform for you. But if you are, on the other hand, a person that wants to take a stance in this, it is important that we get donations. Very important. I'm also looking for sponsors for this podcast. So you can either send a message directly to me at A Father's Truth, or you can send a message to the CFO. Michael McIver is A Father's Truth _CFO. It is not a spam account. It is the CFO of A Father's Truth. So again, I thank everybody for tuning in tonight. I will get this video up posted early in the morning. It's very important, again, for people to re-comment on it, even if it's just a support comment. That's how these get out there. And I just proved it by posting a video of the victims of false allegations on my TikTok, which is now probably over 7,500 views, which is, to date, I have not gotten anything like that. And that's the power of what we're doing. So again, thank you everybody for joining, and we'll see you soon.